Hi, this is Jeff Burrell, and I'm going to walk you through how to edit a trip listing and submit it for approval on the AMC site. The first starting place is going to be at the URL for the dashboard. This link is going to be available on our website, or it is shown right here. I would definitely bookmark this so you can easily find it next time. You're going to log in with your AMC account. Which is different than the paddling website account. And if you're smart, you will use the same user and password for both. Comes up with this admin search box. And one trick you can find, you can pull up archive trips. So these are trips that you have listed in the past. And you can choose one of these trips here and reactivate. That's going to pull up all the fields that are all filled in. This is going to save you a lot of time. You'll still need to change dates and co-leaders and information like that. If it's to a different location, then there's a few other fields to tweak, but this is a big shortcut. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to add an event for paddling. And so this is a blank trip. And I'm going to make up a phony trip here. And make up a phony date. Obviously, you probably want to consult tide tables and things to determine a date and launch, but let's just say I did that. The fields with the red asterisk are required, so you'll need to complete this even though you don't think it's that useful information. On the web description here, this is where you're going to describe your trip itinerary perhaps, maybe your objective or destination. You want to list the for sea kayaking, the distance, the pace, and the hazards. That's going to be unique to every trip. Now in Boston Harbor, we have channel crossings. We have boat traffic. And maybe we have open water, depending on how far out in the harbor you go, the outer islands and such. That's just up to you. You might want to put the ability level in here, if you can spell it. This is going to be a field that I show later on, but I think it's good when you're setting your trip expectations for your participants. Because in this description, a participant is going to assess whether they are able to paddle on this trip or not. It's going to save you a lot of time screening and such. So I would spend more time with the trip description than I've done here. The location is not really required, but I do like to add this map in the pin. There's a tool in the AMC search website where it shows all the trips on a map, and yours is going to stand out that way. You might have a trip photo that you add. I have uploaded a number of photos. So I have some photos to put, and that just makes a more attractive trip listing. Additional info is maybe some search terms for people who are going to search on keywords. You can also put some hyperlinks in here. This is the text and the URL for that. Here's the difficulty field, and we have a new set of difficulties, easy, moderate, and it's really up to you to choose that. If your trip has a fee involved, this is where you define the cost and what that includes. You should also include what that does not include if there are additional fees. It has pre-stuffed my name into this field here. I need to list either a phone or email contact. Most people prefer the email contact. You can show this email address in the listing or not. If it's not in the listing, then emails will go through the AMC server indirectly to you. I do prefer to talk to participants directly. So once I get an email from them, I will contact them directly instead of going back and forth through the server. I can put I can choose a bio for myself, a little picture, and maybe a bio. You can get as extensive, years of kayaking experience and blah blah. Talk all about yourself. If you have another leader, you list them here. The leaders need to be a registered white paddling leader from this list here. These are people whose membership is current and are registered as a paddling leader. If you have a co-leader instead, no such requirement is needed to be registered or membership, but we would ask that your co-leaders register with our committee, either Packy or myself, because we want to put these people on a co-leader list. We want them to get leader notices and such. The registration is new and it is required field. There are two options that you cannot see. One is for a webinar, online, Zoom sort of thing. The other, which we choose, is called in-person opportunity. And you can define the date when registration starts. You can define a date when it ends, like a couple of days before your trip, you're going to shut off registrations. Yes, we do need to limit the number of participants. Our max group size is 10. I prefer group size of 8 people, but I myself and my other leader probably not going to register. So this is the number of participants. Maybe allow a wait list. For a day trip. I don't know. Probably that's not so important. Now we skip over all the verbiage, release forms and everything. I don't know why that's here. So now we can either clear out, we can preview. Let's take a look at what this trip listing looks like on the web. So obviously the overview is going to be more extensive here, but this is basically what the trip looks like. And if you like that, then let's just close it and submit it. Now, once you submit it, the trip will go to reviewers and approvers. And for whitewater and sea kayaking, we have different reviewers, different approvers, but basically once you submit, you have lost the ability to make changes to this listing. So make sure that all the details are correct. There is no save and come back later, unfortunately. That's all. I hope that you learned something. Obviously, contact myself or the committee if you have questions, issues. I'd be glad to address them. Thanks.